Hi mga ka-SBN! This is another episode of the Small Business Talks kung saan pag-uusapan natin at syempre pagkikwentuhan natin ang istorya ng mga hashtag negosyanteng Pinoy. And for today, malalaman natin ang kwento ni Clarry Herrera. For sure, narinig niyo na yung pangalan niya because he is the founder and CEO of Herrera Ventures Incorporated and, of course, of Small Business Network Philippines. Welcome, Clarry! Welcome to our SBN Talks. Ngayon, ikaw ang aming guest. Of course, dapat talaga marikinig ka namin dito sa segment na to. And now, I know you are going to introduce to us kung ano ba ang Herrera Ventures Inc. So now, I know our audiences are curious kung ano ang ventures ng Herrera Ventures Incorporated. So, take it away, Clarry. Ano ba talaga ito?
Yeah, thank you very much, Terry. So, yun nga, medyo nakakapanibago na ako naman yung nasa guest side ng Small Business Talks. But yeah, so for this one, Herrera Ventures Incorporated, this is a company that I own and it operates a number of digital brands here in the Philippines. And one of our brands is Agent Digital. Agent Digital, ito yung nasa shirt ko ngayon. Agent Digital is a growth marketing agency specializing in data-driven marketing campaigns for businesses. So, yun yung pinakauna namin na brands under Herrera Ventures Incorporated. But we have other brands and websites as well na umiikot yung aming mga products and services around digital ventures. So, yun mainly yung magiging parang katauhan ni Herrera Ventures Incorporated as a company.
So how did you start this company? Like what came into your mind na okay, ito yung gusto kong business industry or ito yung gusto kong gawin for my future na business?
So, ever since college kasi, I could say na I was entrepreneurial. Pero going back before college pa, high school, ako yung tipo ng estudyante na, puro sports lang yung alam. Like, hindi ako ganun ka-active sa academics. I was part of the varsity that time during high school. And yun lang, dun lang umiikot yung buhay ko. So, high school, parang wala pa akong direction sa buhay ko. Wala pa akong iikot na ano bang
Lahat
gusto
naman
ko.
ata tayo.
Yun nga eh. Tapos pagdating ng college, I usually attribute my entrepreneurial drive or nature to one of my college org. It was Young Entrepreneur Society, UP. It was an entrep org here in UP Los Baños. And basically, doon ako na-expose sa environment of people who are really into business, who are really into starting kahit mga maliliit na mga negosyo. Then during that time when I was a member ng Young Entrepreneur Society UP, parang doon ko naisip, teka, parang ito yung gusto kong gawin. So doon nagsimula yung aking entrepreneurial journey when I was a college student. And during college, nagkaroon ako ng mga maliliit na, kumbaga, hindi naman siya tatawagin talagang negosyo na legit, but maliliit na projects. So my
Yeah.
first ever business was a clothing brand. So hindi ako ganun kagaling, or actually wala akong talent in terms of editing and designs. So what I did was I partnered up with one of my org mates that time sa SUP, si Joff Runyo. And ako yung nag-iisip kasi ano yung utak ko, maraming creative yung utak ko pero hindi yung creative in a way na sa designing, creating tangible na mga designs. Pero sa mga witty lines, so we created a clothing brand, Concepto yung name niya. And ang ginawa namin, since wala kaming capital that time, we had it pre-ordered, yung mga designs namin. So mag-release kami, magpo-print lang kami, punta kami sa Diversoria, hanap kami ng mga shirts, tapos kuha kami ng printer. Makikipag-coordinate kami sa someone na may printing business sa Los Baños, papaprint namin yung first set, then picture. So that was my very first project, kumbaga. And during that time, nagkaroon ako ng mga ilang mga side projects or businesses. But when I graduated, well, actually, I did not graduate from college. I left college with 6 units left from my thesis. So, ganun kasi
So
parang
close yet so far.
ilang semesters akong naka-enroll sa thesis. Tapos parang hindi ko talaga kaya. Then I decided to work while I was enrolled. I decided to work as a full-time VA that time. Di pa gano'n kasikat yung mga VA no'n eh. So I worked
Mm.
while I was in college. Ang parang oras ng trabaho ko no'n around 11 p.m. Philippine time up until 7 a.m. Tapos I have classes sa hapon. So it was kind of tiring, but that was the time wherein naisip ko na kailangan ko na magkaroon ng sarili kong pera, of course. So I'm not really from a wealthy family. My mom and my lola, sila yung nagpalaki sa akin, were teachers. So, if iisipin mo, usually yung mga tao, sinasabi nila, akala ko galing ka sa family of business people kasi very entrepreneurial nga yung mind ko ng college. But yeah, it was the other way around. But yun nga, I decided to have my own money na sana at that time. I started to work. Then, yun nga yung nakwento ko last time during our AMA sa SBN na
Yeah.
na-fire ako exactly 1 month ng trabaho dahil natutulog ako. Nahuli ako natutulog sa work ko nung yon. Then, so I left the job. Well, I did not leave. I was fired on the job, first
Mhm.
job ko. Then afterwards, nakakuha ulit ako ng isang Amazon VA work. So that was my second work that time. And yun yung parang hindi na ako nagtuloy ng college. So I left my thesis na yung 6 units na natitirang yon. Then yung Amazon VA job na yon, doon ako natuto in terms of sourcing products kasi ang ginagawa ko sa job na yon was I talk to suppliers na pwedeng mga mabenta nung brand or ng company na pinagtatrabahuhan ko sa Amazon. So doon ako na-expose in terms of dealing with suppliers, using Alibaba, and while I was working that time, parang ginamit ko yung skill na natutunan ko sa work ko to have like side hustles. So, ang ginawa ko noon, naghanap ako ng mga products na feeling ko pwedeng mabenta sa setting ng UPLB. So, naghanap ako
Okay.
ng mga suppliers tapos nagpa-pre-order ako as a bulk, yung mga batch of orders na yon, in-import ko, of course, for a markup. So, that time, then, afterwards, Amazon VA work, nakakita ako ng job opening sa isang Facebook group here sa Philippines. It was digital marketing. Kasi dun yung time na medyo interested na din talaga ako sa marketing and nakita ko parang opportunity yon. So actually yung time na yon, yung job na kukunin ko, yung about digital marketing, had less pay compared dun sa job ko as VA. But I took the risk. Sabi ko, ito talaga yung parang gusto kong gawin eh. Into marketing ako. Sa digital marketing. I took the risk. Nag-training ako dun sa work na yon. Then after yung training namin, 6 months yon, I was promoted to SEO manager. So parang yun yung nag-lead ng SEO campaigns for the company. Then few months after was promoted again for VP of services. Kasi it's a startup company, so mabilis yung progression.
Oh, I
Now,
see. Okay.
doon na ako na-expose talaga in terms of mga client-facing and managing a team of digital marketers. So I attribute much of my success on on my previous company to the top agency. Kasi doon talaga ako nahasa, doon ako na-train in terms of managing and running a digital marketing agency. So after a few months, siguro nakalagpas 1 year ako doon sa job ko na yun since I started. I felt like parang medyo kaya ko na mag-start ng business ko. So I started getting couple of clients on the side while I was working as
Mhm.
part of To The Top. And yung mga konting-konting clients na yon, lumaki siya into a whole digital marketing agency. To which I decided na, okay, maybe it's start for me to go full-time. So last year of May 2020, I think, 2021, I'm sorry. Last year, May 2021, I decided to go full-time, to be a full-time entrepreneur and focus on managing my own digital marketing agency. So it went well. Technically, I was able to grow that marketing agency into seven-figure marketing agency right now. And our team grew from one team member December 2020, yun yung pinakaunang hire ko. One team member namin. Right now, we have 25, 26 team members for Agents Digital. And
Mhm.
yun, parang doon na nag-start talaga yung opportunity ko to have other ventures outside of that marketing agency na meron na kaming ilang mga marketing, not really marketing brands. May ilang brands na kami here in the Philippines na sinisimulan, one of which is Small Business Network. And we also
Of
have other
course.
products as well under the Herrera Ventures Incorporated company. So si Herrera Ventures Incorporated, it started as a marketing agency, but right now we're really venturing into digital um, businesses. So
Okay.
Meron kami isang website, House Renovation PH. It's a lead generation website for renovation contractors and interior designers. So, yun, and small business network.
So it's napapansin ko lang no dito sa Herrera Ventures, it's more on the digital side talaga. Ano ba 'yun? 'Yun ba talaga 'yun na rin talaga kasi yung naging interest mo, sabi mo nga kanina, 'di ba? You were interested in digital marketing. And while you were saying your story, I feel like you're so old. Pero ang mga timeline na sinasabi mo, 1 year later, 6 months later,
Uh,
I didn't graduate college, sabi mo, 'di ba? And then after noon, you had the part-time jobs. Clarry, ilang taon ka na ba talaga? I feel like you're so young, so young to run a company. And how was that?
yeah,
Or
I'm
how
24 years
is it
old.
pala since you're still young? You're
I'm
22.
24 years old right now. So 24. I'll be
Okay,
turning
24.
25 next year, January. But yeah, siguro yun nga, halo na din siya ng swerte and uh, pagpupursige. Kasi during
For
the
sure.
time na na nagwo-work pa ako, I was literally, ito, walang walang halong biro. I was literally working 16 hours a day that time
Yeah.
during that agency phase ko na nagwo-work pa ako for my previous agency. Kasi I was really trying to get a hold of things. Like, gusto kong malaman yung ins and outs of running a
Mhm.
marketing agency. But, yun nga, na-mention mo na puro digital ventures. Kasi, mainly yung best skill ko is on digital marketing. So, I leverage that skill yung
Mhm.
pagiging magaling ko or at least I think pagiging okay or skilled ko or yung skill ko for digital marketing to have my own business. But yeah, siguro ano din, kagaya sabi ko kanina, halo na din ng swerte. I'm lucky enough to find a great opportunity din sa previous
Mhm.
agency ko to learn things for me to get an idea of what it's like to run a marketing agency, ano yung mga
Mhm.
kailangan mo, na-expose ako doon at na-train ako. And ayun nga, ang bait din nung naging previous boss ko nung I was still working for my prior agency. Ngayon, partner na siya ng Agenix Digital, yung boss ko. So,
Wow,
right now kasi
okay.
si Agenix Digital, we operate in a way, we have direct clients, then we also have partner agencies across US, Europe, and Australia. So what we do is parang subcontractor. These
Subcontractor,
marketing
yeah.
agencies actually have their clients, pero hindi sila yung nag-handle ng mismong marketing campaign. So parang
Mhm.
outsource yung mga campaign
Yeah,
sa amin. So we have
got
partners like that, but we also have our direct clients. Kaya on the first year talaga ng Ajax Digital, hindi namin kinailangan ng marketing campaigns for our own. I mean, hindi namin kailangan ng ganun kalaking exposure kasi all of these partners are generating businesses for us. So kami, ang trabaho ko naman is to put up the best team possible to run those campaigns for them. So yun nga. But yeah, it's hard actually. Medyo mahirap din to start a company at a very young age. Start, especially, hindi ko may advice for all those aspiring business owners right there na magsimula kayo ng sobrang daming businesses at a very young age. As
Mhm.
much as
Yeah.
possible, you would want to focus on one. But
Mhm.
stubborn kasi ako eh. Ako kasi yung tipo ng tao na kapag yung idea ko, I have so many ideas. So, ang isang natutunan ko kasi last time when I was still starting out, you don't really need to put up a very perfect plan
Mhm.
for you to start. All you need to do is to make sure that you have the framework. Nasabi ko din ito ng EMA natin sa SBN community eh. All you have to make sure is you have the framework, you have the basics, you have the foundational plan, kumbaga. Then after nun, implement mo siya, execute, then iterate. Kasi doon ako dati nakulong eh. Like gusto ko kapag ni-launch ko yung isang business or brand, kumbaga, gusto ko parang perfect na siya eh. Gusto ko parang mukhang legit na talaga siya. Tapos do'n ko na-realize that was what ano yun yung bagay na nagho-hold back sa akin from really accomplishing things, right? So do'n ko naisip na, okay, I just need to start. Andiyan yung foundational idea ko, implement, then continuously improve and learn. So that was the main formula na ginamit ko talaga for starting out these businesses.
Yeah, and you know what? I keep coming back to the memory that you mentioned na sabi mo, 'di ba, you let go of your Amazon job na
Mm,
mas high paying compared dun sa internship or training na you got.
mm,
I remembered this post I saw on social media. Of course, you see so many things on social media. I saw that mas okay kapag nakahanap ka ng good manager kahit na
mm.
mababa yung pay mo, compared sa, you know, mga managers na hindi ka matutulungan in terms of growth pero mataas yung sahod mo. So from there, nag-blossom yung, ayun nga, nagkaroon ka na ng experience in digital marketing and you climbed up the ladder until you, of course, you started to plan for your own business. Pero from starting your business, starting Herrera Ventures, what do you think was your biggest challenge na experience mo going through the process?
Okay. Yeah, for this one siguro, yung biggest challenge na masasabi ko was really learning everything na sa sarili ko. Meaning, kasi as I mentioned earlier, hindi ako galing sa well-off na family. My
Yeah,
mom and my lola were teachers. Alam naman natin, hindi ganun ka well compensated in teachers here in the Philippines. And they are really
sadly.
risk averse. So, for that part, kasi if you are a starting business owner, it
Mhm.
always helps na meron kang makukuhang tulong from other people. May it be um, pwede siyang maging parang mentor mo
Yeah,
or financial
network.
help talaga.
Yeah.
So I really started, yun nga, maybe one of the biggest challenge as a new business owner that time was wala kang fallback. Right? When I
Mm.
left my full-time job, ano mangyayari kung hindi ito magiging okay? Siguro yun yung
Saka
isa eh.
kukuha ng funds, yung may
Oo.
mga naiisip mo.
Kasi 'di ba if you're someone na yun lang talaga yung ano mo eh, source of income, yung work mo. Maybe this
Mhm.
is also a good learning or advice for some of the ka-SBN natin diyan na nakikinig. If you're someone na may fortunate enough, wala akong pamilya. So wala akong anak at asawa pa. So
Yes,
yung
yes, yes.
yung parang pwedeng maging
Priorities.
priorities ko is yun nga, pwede akong mag-focus sa business ko. But again, going back, during that time, yun yung mahirap eh. Parang kinakabahan ka every time na, paano kung next month mag-alisan 'tong mga kliyente mo? Aside from yourself, sa mga team members mo, 'di ba? Paano mo siya isa-sustain? And maybe one of the biggest thing dun is, isa pang challenge, yung pag-establish ng processes mo and nung team mo, right? Kasi if you are on service-based business, pinaka-importante diyan, you have your SOPs. You have each of your processes documented para it's easier for your team to implement that and to
Mhm.
ensure also na yung quality of work, kasi ito yung isa pang risk about skill-based businesses. If you started out as a freelancer, if you started out as a marketing consultant, tapos you're putting up your agency, ang mahirap dyan is to ensure yung quality ng work, kung ikaw yung gagawa, is same sa quality ng work kung yung
Ng
team members mo
employees.
na yung
Mhm.
gagawa. So that's one also of the biggest challenges in terms of putting up a marketing agency. Ensuring na yung team members mo will be trained properly. And aside from that, of course, putting up a happy team. That's very important for me eh. Kasi if you don't really have team members who have shared vision for your company, mahihirapan ka to really put up great or quality deliverables. And yung team members mo, magkakaroon sila ng shared vision na tinatawag natin with your company if they are happy sa working environment nila. If masaya sila sa ginagawa nila, if masaya sila sa katrabaho nila. So maybe those are the three biggest challenges. Medyo madami yung sinabi ko na challenges eh. Pero yun siguro yung masasabi ko three biggest challenges that I had starting out for Herrera Ventures Inc. or for the company.
I see. You were talking about having happy team members, right?
Mm.
Would you say that your employee or your team member, you and your team members are tight knit? And how do you think did that happen, or how did you make that
Mm.
happen?
Yeah, actually, answering yung question muna, I think yes. I think oo, tight-knit yung team namin. But I started the company kasi, yung first set of hires ko were people who I already know. Ito yung mga org mates ko sa SUP dati. Of course, given that they have the skills that I needed for
Mhm.
for the company. But siguro yun yung naging isang advantage ng pagsisimula ko na magkakakilala na yung mga tao. Right? Yung first set of team members ko. Meaning, hindi na namin ganun kailangan mag-adjust sa isa't isa. Nagkaroon na kami ng chance na makilala at magkatrabaho kasi nga org mates kami. Then, siguro na, at some point, naging disadvantage na din siya. Kasi siguro, dahil sobrang komportable na kayo sa isa't isa, feeling yung org work pa rin yan. So, that was at the early stage of
Okay.
Agenix. That was one of the things that I needed to perhaps, make sure na may clear boundaries in terms of being friends, in terms of org mates, and workplace. But, yun nga, naging advantage din sa, and dumating na yung point na, of course, you have to make sure na yung team members mo mag-go outside of your circle din. Siguro for the mga first time business owners or yung mga early business owners, mga kaibigan nila yung una nilang lalapitan for mga kailangan nila na tulong for employees. But eventually, dadating yung point na kakailanganin mo na mag-hire ng mas maraming tao ng outside
Mhm.
of your circle. We now have team members in Mindanao and Visayas, and meron kami mga freelancer outside of the Philippines. But one thing that you have to make sure is dapat hindi ma-feel na out of place yung mga bagong team members mo na hindi nyo kakilala. But if you're someone kasi na starting out pa, na hindi mo naman kakilala yung mga bagong team members mo, you have to make sure na you treat your employees or your team members right. You don't
Mhm.
think na subordinate sila sa'yo, right? You always think na you are working with them and they are not working for you. It's very important for you to have that mindset. Kasi at the end of the day, if wala sila, di ba? Wala ding mararating yung agency mo or yung business mo.
Yes, I agree.
And especially for service-based businesses, the way you treat your employees would reflect the way they treat your clients or your deliverables. So, it's very important for you to make sure na masaya yung team members mo, inaalagaan mo sila. Kasi sila yung bumubuhay sa business mo eh, sila yung bumubuhay sa'yo. So, it's very important for you to make sure na mabigay mo yung needs nila. Kasi hindi lang din naman yan about compensation eh, right? A lot of businesses think na high compensation equals happy employees. It's not. You could have a median salary, pero yung workplace environment mo is very engaging. Yung team members mo na-enjoy sa mga katrabaho nila, na-enjoy yung manager nila, natututo sila, nag-grow sila. And it's very important for you to cultivate an environment of growth in your company, in your business. Dapat ma-make sure mo na nag-grow din yung mga employees mo as your business grow. Dapat hindi sila maiwan eh. Kasi it's very important for you to make sure na and to understand itong team members mo kapag ma-feel nila na stagnant sila on their role, on their business, on your business, dito sila magkakaroon ng discontentment. Like, wala na
Mhm.
akong, parang wala na. Parang feeling nila na robot na lang sila na gumagawa everyday. Ikaw ba, if ikaw yung business owner, ganun yung feeling mo, of course, you'll try to find other things, which is, yun yung mahirap. Kasi, it's very hard, especially for service-based businesses, to train. It's very hard to find people who are really good at what they do. So if you find those people, make sure to take care of them and make sure they're happy in terms of their roles.
I agree with that. And knowing that a mentor is always going to be looking at your back, making sure that you're happy with what you're doing. For sure, yung
Mhm.
environment in the organization is going to be fruitful as well. And of course, marami kang learnings na makukuha doon.
Mhm.
No, but that could also serve as their motivation to continuously grow in your organization. But what about you? What motivates you, or who motivates you? Ikaw na
Mhm.
bahala doon.
Yeah, what motivates me, number one, is failure of sorry. I'm afraid to fail. That's to be honest, yun yung isa sa ano ko. I'm afraid to fail. Ever since college, I had big dreams for myself. And I was always afraid na muntik na akong magsabi ng mga bawal na words, but I was always afraid to to see na hindi ko ma-meet yung
Mm,
yung mga dreams ko. So that's one. Aside from that, my family, of course. Right now I'm the breadwinner of my family. So I have to make sure that, of course, ma-provide ko yung needs and wants ng mom and ng lola ko. But aside from that, yung team members ko as well. Kasi as a business owner, you're not just responsible for your own life. You're
Mhm.
responsible for the livelihood of your
Yes, of
team
your team
members. So
members.
one wrong decision that could really affect your business big time. Hindi lang ikaw yung damay doon eh. Damay yung buong team members mo. Damay kung ilan yung sa akin, in my case, damay yung 25, 26 na tao. So that's also the third big motivation na meron ako. And lastly, siguro someone coming from a family na hindi ganun ka well off, na we had challenges talaga financially when I was young, when I was studying pa. So I wanted to give yun nga, myself and my family and my future family a comfortable life. That's also one thing that hindi ko na itatago yun, because of course we all want to live comfortable life. So
Yes.
that's why I really wanted to make sure that I put in the effort and the work for me to succeed.
I see. And uh, hindi ko alam kung sasabihin ko siyang rags to riches since you're continuously growing, pero it sounds like ganun yung story niyo, no? When you were starting your company, your business, ano yung naging reaction ng family mo? Kasi 'di ba, sabi
Mhm.
mo nga you were not well off. So, alam ba nila na this is gonna be a big risk, not only for them, but also for you? And how did you handle that kind of reaction from them?
Mhm. Yeah, considering na yun nga, yung mom and lola ko were teachers. So yung teachers naman alam natin may ano yan eh, security of tenure. So hindi sila sanay dun sa mga ah, tipo ng setup na, for example, for private sector, wala kang security of tenure for the early part of your years up until
Mm-hmm, yes.
ma-permanent ka. So sila very risk averse yung lola at mama ko. And during that time, you can only imagine kung gaano sila ka-against on quitting my job. But one thing na maganda kasi sa lola and sa mom ko, ever since bata ako, they really gave me the freedom to have my own choices.
Mm-hmm.
Magagalit sila, pero at the end of the day, papayagan ka nila, "Ah, yan yung gusto mo, okay, sige." So I think that also contributed in terms of my personality right now, yung freedom na meron ako ever since bata ako, of choosing and knowing that ako yung magde-deal with the consequences that I have. That
Mm,
that
yes,
that,
yes.
makukuha ko dun um, sa mga choices ko. So during that time, they were really against me na hindi sila ganoon ka-comfortable sa decision ko, but they supported me. And yeah, ever since naman it worked well, thankfully. But again, we're still young, so marami pang pagdadaanan ng business, marami pa akong pagdadaanan. But always thank God for kasi very supportive yung family ko. So ever since andyan yung lola ko and mom ko. So sila talaga yung main motivating factor in terms of why I want to succeed.
Okay. And while they were watching you uh, growing Herrera Ventures or starting Agenix, 'di ba?
Mm.
Ano yung naging biggest challenge na experience mo while starting that business?
Yeah. So kanina yun nga nabanggit natin about really establishing yung processes. But aside from that, siguro isa pang challenge na may isip ko when I was really starting out the company was generating clients. Isa pa din yun. Siguro isa pang problema yun for marketing agencies. How you would start generating continuous leads and clients for your business. So, for that part naman, dun ko naisip yung part of the business model namin na outsourcing or subcon or white
Mm-hmm.
label partnerships with other agencies. Kasi it's easier for us to do the work if meron ng another team na nag-handle ng pag-generate ng clients for us. So we don't really have our own sales team. We have lots of referral and white label partners across US, Europe, and Australia nga. So that's one. And for that, siguro yun nga, yung instability nung business. For someone ito yung main source of income during that time talaga, very, very hard na parang every time, I'm sorry, kada linggo iba yung pakiramdam mo. One week, maybe last week, pakiramdam mo, medyo okay yung business, malakas tayo, very positive yung outlook mo. susunod na week, medyo ano ka, parang kinakabahan ka sa
Mixed
mangyayari. So,
emotions.
yeah, roller coaster ride, the early part of the business. Up till now, actually, as a business owner, wala naman tayo security in terms of everything we do. If you're a business owner, and dyan talaga yung risk every time. So, andun pa rin yung roller coaster feeling na, okay ngayon, tapos susunod, parang kakabahan ka next time. So, yan yung mga early challenges siguro that I could say within the early parts of the company.
But what do you think has been the pivotal moment na dun mo
Mm,
talaga nakita? 'Di ba you mentioned a while ago, seven figures na ang iyong
mm,
business. So what do you think was that pivotal moment that has led to where you are right now or where your business is right now?
Pivotal moment. Siguro when we had this one particular business partner, that white label partner namin, which is based in the US. Uh,
Mhm.
for that business partner kasi, for that white label partner na agency, he's brought in a lot of business to us. And I've been working with him siguro for almost ilang years na. When I started sa To The Top. Kasi that particular business partner, he was a client, previous
In
agency.
your previous,
Uh,
okay.
Tapos, that time, parang inis ako sa kanya. Yun nga, ito magandang kwento to eh. Naiinis ako sa
Sana
kanya
hindi
kasi
niya 'to
sabi niya,
mapanood.
makulit siya. Makulit siya na
Okay.
kliyente. Siya yung tipo ng kliyente. Kasi during that time na nasa agency nga ako yung ilan nag-handle ng campaigns sa mga clients namin. So, parang, ang nangyari that time, nakukulitan na ako sa kanya kasi message siya ng message. Ang dami ng tanong. So, of course, he's the client. You have to deal with it. You have to make sure na address yung lahat ng concerns and questions nila. Then, eventually, nung medyo tumatagal-tagal na yung campaign namin dun sa previous agency ko, naging comfortable na kami sa isa. Then, I informed him that I'll be having my own agency. Then, he trusted me in terms of digital marketing. He really believed in my skills. Thankful enough din ako dun sa nangyaring yon. So, nung nalaman niya na magsa-start ako ng marketing agency, he said na, I'll be supporting you. Like, if in case man, ang mangyayari is, lilipat ako sa'yo, susunod ako sa'yo. Yun yung parang naging usapan namin. So, he's one of the first clients ng agency namin, ng Agenix Digital. And during that time, yun nga, parang brands pa lang yung hinahandle namin. Then, nag-grow namin yung relationship together. So, we've been working for a few years already together. And, ang nangyari is, he's one of the business partners namin sa Agenix White Label. So, he was able to start his own brand ng marketing agency sa US. But technically, wala siyang team members. Kami yung lahat ng nag-ooperate. No, ano, may
Okay.
brand lang siya dun sa US. So, from a client na nakakainis, kinakainis ang mong client, siya yung naging first client ng sarili kong agency. Then, siya din yung isa sa mga business partners namin who's brought in a lot of business for Agenix Digital. It's brought in clients for us. And right now, we are venturing into other businesses outside of digital marketing agency. Right now, we're venturing into e-commerce. So, yun yung isa sa isa sa mga pivotal moment when I was able to grow that relationship from being a client to now business partner ng agency namin. He really helped us grow at a very fast pace, span of 1 year. Yun nga, siya yung talaga nakatulong sa agency namin.
That's why be good to your clients sa mga manonood nito.
Yeah, actually,
Hindi mo
not
kasi
just for your
alam.
clients. Oo, totoo yan. For lahat ng mga ka-SBN natin dito na nakikinig, always provide value to someone else. Kasi hindi mo malalaman na baka mamaya in the future, sila
Y-
yung makakatulong sa'yo. Sila yung magiging partner
Yes.
mo, di ba?
Yeah. Kaya ako, I choose to always be good to everyone. I mean, kasi hindi, honestly, totoo nga, hindi mo rin ka talaga malalaman kung, di ba, yung connection na nagawa mo, it can be helpful in the future or, you can
Mm.
build better things in the future together with that person.
Totoo yan.
So yes, now that you've shared with us yung pivotal moment na yun, no? What are the future plans of, aside from the e-commerce, ano pa ba yung mga
Mm.
ideas mo for Herrera Ventures?
Yeah, so for Herrera Ventures, actually, ito kakasabi ko lang, related to dun sa previous question natin. What's next for us is, number one, we'll be launching a partnership. kasi yung naggi-gym ako lately. Eto kuwento ko na din 'to sa mga ka-SBN natin, sa mga nakikinig. Naggi-gym ako
Same.
lately. Tapos yung trainer ko nabanggit niya sa'kin na ano, na before the pandemic pala, before the pandemic, he
Mhm.
was doing YouTube tapos meron siyang page na napalago niya and Facebook group. Tapos yun nga, nagkaroon siya ng problema to monetize that. So tinigil niya. Ngayon, ayun nga, ito kagaya ng nasabi ko, be good to everyone. Now, we'll be venturing into the fitness space for Herrera Ventures. What will happen is we'll be having partnerships and one of that will be future partnership namin with my trainer. We'll be venturing into partnership. Tapos, he'll be providing courses. So, like fitness courses online.
Mhm.
So, we will be handling the marketing nun. And that will be the general direction of Herrera Ventures Incorporated, actually. For us, we are planning to partner up with coaches, trainers here in the Philippines to provide courses depending on their expertise. So yun nga, one of which was yung trainer ko for fitness. But aside from that, we are planning to really establish our presence here in the Philippines because for the past year, since we started, most of our presence and client base are outside of the Philippines, US,
You
Europe,
mentioned.
Australia. So right now, we are planning to really have clients here in the Philippines, increase our client base here in the Philippines. And aside from that, we also are about to launch a number of lead generation websites. So one of which was yung house renovation PH nga. So mainly yun nga, diversifying our ventures with regards to digital marketing. So yun nga, we have our agency. Now, it's time for us to apply our digital marketing skills ng mga tao namin at akin to ventures and businesses na kami na yung may-ari. So leveraging that digital marketing skills namin.
And now that you've mentioned your two future plans now, one for the fitness industry, another for lead generation, and you still have your agency, of course, and you
Mhm.
also have SBN. What do you think will it be running multiple businesses? Or ano ba, how is it right now that you're running and
Mhm.
multiple businesses, and how will it be in the future?
Mhm. Yun nga, sabi ko kanina, kung business owners kayo, bata pa kayo, hindi nyo kailangan ng ganitong stress. Don't start lots of businesses. But maybe for me kasi, yun nga, as I mentioned, stubborn ako and I wanted to really, try as much as possible ngayong bata pa ako. Para I don't really have that much at stake in terms of, I don't have my own family pa na anak ko or asawa to, yun nga, so,
Young age.
in terms of age, bata pa ako, so I really tried to start everything. But yun nga, in terms of managing your business,
Mhm.
siguro somehow hindi siya gano'n ka-stressful dahil was able to find the right people to manage and to have the day-to-day ng mga businesses na 'to. That's very important pa rin din as a business owner, eh. So somehow, maybe not just a business owner, if you are working for a corporate job na you're top management or middle management, right now it's not your job na to do the day-to-day, eh. It's your job to find the right pieces for your business to ensure na sila yung best fit to run the day-to-day of your business, right? So for SBN, I have my very good friend Carlos Pahigal who's managing the day-to-day of SBN and Small Business Solutions. So in terms of me as a business owner, I'm mainly setting the direction, right? Yung vision for the company, direction, and of course yung hiring ng mga tao natin. So that's very important as well. Siguro singit na din advice for mga business owners out there. Don't overlook yung importance of finding the right pieces for your business. Kasi you can really do it alone. So, mas dadali yung buhay mo if you have the right people. For me, I'm always thankful sa mga team members ko sa AgenX Digital, sa team members ko sa SBN. Dahil without them, hindi ko talaga kakayanin with everything that I have right now in terms of my plate. So, yun. That's one very important thing that I can share to the SBN community natin.
Thank you, Clary. And aside from that, no, aside from highlighting the importance of finding the right piece of the puzzle when
Mhm.
it comes to the day-to-day operation nga, ano pa yung ano naman yung advice na mabibigay mo for aspiring business owners?
Okay. So, eto medyo recurring yung sinasabi ko eh. For aspiring business owners, I have two set of advice. First one, for those people who are not really well off, na walang ganong luxury of risking yung things, of really, yung walang yung walang fallback, kumbaga. For those people who would want to have their own businesses, it's very important for you guys to be self-aware, right? To know kung ano yung skills na meron kayo, ano yung skills na wala pa kayo. Yun yung unang question na tatanungin mo eh. Kasi, if wala kang fallback, tapos, alam mo na hindi ka pa ganoon ka-ready in terms of your skills or dun sa business na i-venture on mo, you have to make sure that you acquire the skills you need, right? There are a lot of free resources online na pwede mong matutunan. If you can find a mentor, find one. It will make your life way, way easier, right? Maiiwasan mo yung mga pagkakamali na otherwise magagawa mo, na maiiwasan mo kung meron kang mentor. So that's one. Then, again, if you don't have a fallback, if you're someone who's not really that well off, try to apply the things you're learning. For example, yung akin, when I was working as an Amazon VA, natutunan ko yung pagsasource sa Alibaba. So, not necessarily naman need na malaki agad. Try mong i-apply yung mga natututunan mo. Kasi somehow, baka yun yung maging mag-click na business sa'yo. So, if you're working right now for a corporate job, if you're working right now for a startup, make sure that you own that role. Make sure to ensure na natututunan mo yung lahat ng mga skills na kailangan for that job. And try to see if kaya mo ba siyang i-apply for your own. Right? If kaya mong, for example, if you are a social media marketer for a company, once na natutunan mo na, once confident ka na sa skills mo, then try mong magkaroon ng konting side clients, but it's very important for you guys with the rise of freelance movement. Right? Ang dami ngayong mga freelancers eh. Very important pa rin sa natandaan natin yung commitment. Right? Right now kasi, especially I'm hiring a lot of people right now. Nakikita ko ngayon, a lot of people are after the big money, especially for freelancing. Like, kuha ka lang ng kuha ng clients, tapos hindi mo na nagagawa yung kailangan mong i-implement or yung quality of work for your client. So that's not really sustainable. It's very important. But again, going back, you have to understand saan ka magaling. You have to understand ano yung resources na meron ka ngayon na kaya mong i-risk. Ano yung wala ka pa at ano yung opportunities na meron ka. So that's one. For people naman na kayang magsimula, na may konting kapital, na may expense nila, na may risk nila, then ang advice ko sa kanila is to start implementing. Stop thinking on how you could make your idea perfect. Ito yung nasabi ko kanina. Just implement, then iterate. It's very important for those aspiring businesses. So, yun. Yun siguro yung dalawang separate advice na mabibigay ko.
Clarry, you know what? I'm actually taking note. Kasi personally, I would like to start my own business. I I always see, ito na naman tayo with social media, no? Pero syempre, I get to see the lives of my other friends or my batchmates in high school, and I see that they started their business and it's flourishing kahit na, you know, at such a young age, diba, na start nila yon. And it motivates me. It motivates me actually to start my own business. Now, minention mo ulit yung sabi mo na, ay, yung advice mo na don't try to make it perfect. Because I think that's one of my biggest problems. I try to overthink and make sure na plancha dapat lahat. Like, lahat dapat detalyado. And I think that's one of the things that I should avoid doing because my plans just keeps on being pushed back. Kasi nga, ang dami kong iniisip, no? And thank you. Thank you for
sorry,
that
Terry.
advice, no?
To
Sige,
add
go.
to that, actually, Terry. Kasi if, yun nga, yung mga plano mong yan, if kukunin mo na yung bawat small detail of each of your plan, most likely, mag-a-adjust din yan kapag in-implement mo. So, yung time na dapat ginugol mo, learning yung actual adjustments that you need to do when you
Mhm.
implement that business, nasusunog lang siya dun sa pag-iisip na sa little, very little
Yes.
details na ano. So, but again, it's very important din to ano, you have that mindset. Kasi most people kapag nakakita ng gano'n, ng friends nila, ang mangyayari inggit. Tapos masusunog na lang
Mhm.
sila dun sa feeling of inggit. So it's very important for you to have that right mindset din na this is like a motivation for you to do better, right? And don't treat this is for everyone parang don't be afraid to reach out to your friends to ask for help, especially for those who have kind of figured it out in terms of business. Kasi they could provide value to you. You can even partner up with them. So, ayun, yung isang advice ko for everyone na ano, na have the right mindset then kasi it's very important. Otherwise, masusunog ka lang sa sarili mong ano, thoughts. Masusunog ka sa sarili mong ano, sa sarili mong yan, maybe can find the
Yeah,
right word for that.
I totally get what you're trying to say as well
Uh-huh.
because surrounded din ako ng people who are afraid to take risks. So that's another factor that I also think about when I'm starting to when I plan to start planning my business.
Ah, pero
But
everyone
yes,
naman has their own timeline, eh. So that's one
yun
thing that
nga
you
eh.
want to
Yes, I
have.
also take note of
Mm.
that, no, na it's not
Don't
a
rush
race.
things. True.
Yes, yes.
Mhm. It's not
You have
really a
your
race.
own pace. So
Mhm.
syempre, ikaw na lang bahala how you will get to your finish line or to your goal, no? But
Actually, hindi ba
Clary,
with
go ahead.
within the same age naman tayo, Terry, eh, 'di ba? Like 25,
Yeah,
26.
2 years
Which
yung agwat natin. I'm
oo.
22.
Actually, yun nga eh. Yun yung mahirap din sa age natin. It's a very weird age, to be honest. Kasi some of our friends or some sa mga early 20s nila, mid-20s, hindi pa rin pinapayagan ng parents lumabas without their permission.
Oh, that's
Some
so
of our
true.
friends, may family na.
Mm-hmm.
Some of our friends, working. Some of our friends, college pa. Some of our friends have successful businesses. So it's a very, very weird age for early 20s, mid-20s. And one of the hardest thing to do at this age is to make sure na you realize that you have your own pace. Diba? Kasi mape-pressure ka
Yeah.
eh, especially with social media, makita mo, yung isa, may successful
May
business
anak
na.
na. Oh,
Yung
yung
isa,
isa
may
may
anak na.
business. Yung isa.
Very weird, very weird age yung early 20s to mid 20s. So, it's very important to have that ano din mindset to realize we're still at a very young age. We have
Yes,
like 30,
yes.
30, 40 years ahead of us. So, this is the age where you need to start building. Like building the habits that could help you succeed, building the connections, building the skills for yourself. So we're still at a very young age, hindi natin kailangan makipag-unahan sa ibang tao.
Yes, actually, I always try to remember that as well. Na this is the time to explore.
Yeah.
There will be your 30s, which is the time to, I guess, implement what you learned through your
Mhm.
20s. But I always try to remember na, okay, you don't need to be pressured kung ano ba talaga yung industry na papasukan mo,
Mhm.
ano ba yung business na i-build mo, because this is the time for you uh, to
Discover.
identify what you're strong at, what are your weaknesses as well, and just try to
Mhm.
grow as a person and as well as your network, no?
True.
Dito kasi, syempre, you'll get to meet a lot of, I guess, influential people or, people from your industry na who will get to mentor you as you try to climb that corporate ladder or even, build your business and learn from the mentors, which I know you've already experienced. So I know it's possible
Yeah.
that will happen.
Madami pa din tayo. Madami pa actually very young pa ako, madami pang challenges. Yun nga. But
Yes,
yeah,
yes. Malay mo, Clary, early ka mag-retire. Kasi may mga ganun, right? Na mga business owners. I follow a business owner on IG, si Angeli Dub. Parang she owns a traveling agency. And she chose to retire at, I guess, 33. Yeah, kasi
wow. Aga.
naging ganun ka, 10 years na yung business niya. And then
Mhm.
she chose to retire early and just explore the world, continue to explore the world. So parang from there, it's a great motivation. It's also great if you have your own business because uh
Mhm.
from there continuously na makakatulong ka rin sa ibang tao, but at the same time, you don't need to think about, where you're gonna get your next plate of food. But of
Yeah,
course, dapat
totoo.
may hard work, no? And that's what
Totoo.
you continuously do
And
sa
luck.
Herrera Ventures. Yes,
Luck.
and luck.
Hindi
Hopefully,
talaga
luck is by your
part talaga
side.
ng equation yung luck. Totoo.
Well, now that you've shared some advices now from for aspiring business owners, what about
Hmm.
the struggling business owners naman?
Okay, for struggling business owners natin, siguro one advice is don't be afraid to ask for help, right? Sometimes yun nga to be honest, as someone who owns a business, sometimes mafe-feel mo na maiilang ka humingi ng advice or humingi ng tulong sa ibang tao, sa team members mo. But that's one very important ano din one very important thing that you have to realize. Lagi may someone na pwedeng makatulong sa atin. So you just have to find the right people. Hindi naman ibig sabihin nun financially. Like advice, giving the right connections, introducing you to the right people to help you improve your struggling business. So that's one. Number two is if your business is struggling, don't be stubborn in terms of going back to the drawing board, reimagining things, rethinking things, right? That's also one possible thing that you could do. And another one would be in terms of businesses, maybe you should also be aware. Sometimes kasi as business owners, stubborn din tayo na, okay, parang nagsa-struggle yung business ko, pero hindi, tutuloy ko to. There are instances na
Yes.
yung business talaga, you have to, as I mentioned, go back to the drawing board. You have to realize na it's time for you to reimagine, reinvent things. So that's one. And if in case man na, yun nga, yun yung chance or yun yung talagang situation mo, then tama na yung denial phase. Iwasan mo na lang yung denial phase.
You have to
Just try to
accept
go
it.
back. You have to accept. Have to accept it. But in terms of ano naman, struggling business owners din natin, another advice is in terms of asking help. One thing that could help you is to increase your network, right? Hindi ka naman nag-iisa in terms of struggles. Right now, world, buong mundo, nagkakaroon
Mm-hmm.
ng struggles in terms of
Yes.
economy. So I'm sure a lot of businesses are affected, especially during the pandemic. So it helps if you have magandang support system na business owners din. If you have a community of business owners, nakikita mo sa pupunta yung segue ko. If you have a community of business owners na pwedeng
Hindi kita
tulungan
pipigilan.
in terms of advice, na pwede kang bigyan advice, pwede kang magkaroon kayo ng parang networking sessions. So, finding the right support system could go a long way. And that's
Mhm.
why Small Business Network is here. Small Business Network Philippines community. You could find and connect with other business owners. If you have questions that you need advice on, you could post it on our Facebook page. And maraming business owners ang pwede mag-reply sa'yo. I am there. I could also give advice to you. So, that's one. And another thing would be try to be aware on ano yung mga opportunities na meron ka to help you grow your business again or to help you um, bounce back sa business mo. So there are a lot of government programs na pwedeng makatulong sa'yo. Also, sa SBN, we are conducting a lot of activities that you can join para to help you upskill, to help you improve your business. So yun, siguro, one piece of advice na mabibigay ko sa mga struggling business owners natin.
You mentioned yung may support from the government as well. We
Mm.
had DTI, right?
Yeah.
So from there, diba, you just visit their website. Makikita nyo doon, they also support small businesses, no, to
Mm.
grow, some lessons that you can take. And of course, ang SBN ay nandito. Mga ka-SBN, hello po. You are the reason why we are here because we
Totoo.
want to, of course, guide startups or aspiring business owners, no, on where to on what to do, rather,
Mhm.
when you're
Struggle.
faced with a problem or
Mm.
struggling. Yes. So Clary, thank you for sharing those advices, especially sa mga struggling business owners, no. Hindi naman natin makakaila na ang COVID-19 still affects some business owners, yung economy natin, right? It's I don't know.
It's the right ano eh.
Mag-aano
It's
ka
the
na
right
lang
reaction.
eh.
It's
Magsasay ka na lang
mapapahinga.
eh.
Oo.
Yung inflation, grabe, because I know.
Mm.
Anyway, that's
Everyone is
another
affected.
topic to be talked about.
Totoo,
But
totoo.
yes, thank you, Clarry, for sharing the story of Herrera Ventures. Thank you very much for the advices that you have given our ka-SBNs. Our ka-SBNs, take note, of course, of the advices given by Clarry. This will be a big help, especially if you want to start a digital marketing agency, or if you want to
Mm.
go down that path, no. And yes, this has been a great talk, Clary. We had a
Thank you
fruitful
very much,
talk. Thank
Terry.
you very much for granting this interview. Thank you very much. And I hope you have a great day. To our SBNs, I hope you enjoyed our episode for today. We will continue to give you episodes with other business owners. So keep on the lookout sa ating SBN page. Always visit the Facebook page of SBN, and of course, join or invite your colleagues, friends, family sa ating SBN Facebook page. Clary, any last words for our SBN Talk episode today?
Yeah, so again, thank you very much, Terry, for your time. And sa ating mga ka-SBN, if need nyo po ng advice, if need nyo ng support system, andito yung ating SBN Philippines community. Punta lang kayo sa SBN Philippines page or search nyo Small Business Network Philippines and sagutan lang natin yung screening membership questions natin. And pwede na kayo mag-connect, collaborate, and learn with other Filipino business owners. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Clary. I have been Therese Makasait, your host for today, and Clarry Herrera has been our guest for our SBN Talks. Thank you.
Salamat sa pakikinig at panonood kay SBN. At kung gusto mo ng more business-related content, make sure to follow us on our Facebook page at smallbusinessnetwork.ph, follow us on YouTube channel at Small Business Network Philippines, at mag-join din sa ating online community sa Facebook group na Small Business Network Philippines. Kita-kita tayo!